In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a comparator class to compare various objects. So we're going to start out by creating a new class, and it's just going to be some object. So we're just going to call it dog, and dog is not going to be have a public static void main on it. We're going to just run this as a class of a runner. So on dog, we'll have a private string name. And that's all we want to do to start out with. I'm just going to do source generate getters and setters and throw those on there. And then the other thing I'm going to do is also generate a toString method. And that's all we're going to do for now. Now the next thing I'm going to do is create a class with a main method on it, and this is going to be our comparator and our runner. So we're just going to say compare using comparator. And that'll be that. So the way we're going to do this, we're going to create a list. This is the collections list, Java util list, and it's going to be dog. And we're going to call that dogs and say new array list, and first we're going to add a couple dogs to it. So we'll say add new dog, and actually one more thing I forgot to do, we're going to throw a constructor on here. So we're going to say public dog string name, this dot name equals name, just to make this a little bit easier for us. And we'll make the first dog Fido. We're going to make the second dog Snoopy. And let's do two more dogs. Let's do one, I want this to be an A, so I'll call this dog Alfie, I guess. And let's do one more that's going to float up to the top, and we're going to call this dog Cerberus. I think that's how you spell that. Next, we're going to use a collections utility called sort, and this is just a public static method on collections or java.util.collections. There's one for arrays too, so I'll show you that next. But all we're going to do is say sort, and you'll see that there is going to be a method in here with the sort for a list and then a comparator. So before we do this, let's go ahead and make a comparator, and I'm going to make this a child class of the runner just so it's easy to see what's going on. I'm going to call this public static class compare dogs implements comparator, and then we're going to do dog here. That's an interface, and it takes a generic parameter. And our public static class, it's yelling at us because we didn't implement the method. So let's go ahead and do add unimplemented methods, and you'll see we're going to have a compare method, and it's going to be dog1, dog2, and that's because that's the class we threw in there. And let's just call this dog1. Just want to rename these dog2, and all we're going to do is say dog1 dot get name dot compare to. So this is a kind of a convenience here for us because string has a compare to method on it, and it will correctly compare based on the character or the position of each character in the alphabet, which order a string is supposed to come after. So we can just call compare to on a string on another string, and we'll call dog2 dot get name. Where's the other dog? Whoops, oh, it should be dog2 get name. So what we're doing here, this is going to run inside of a compare function, some kind of sorting function, and compare is going to get called every iteration of the sort, and it's going to compare the name of the first dog to the name of the second dog, and the names that are closer to the front of the alphabet are going to float up to the top as it sorts. So again, we're going to look at this method in here called sort, and we're going to use this one, and it's going to be dogs and new compare dogs. That's all you have to do, because we have this comparator here, and we're in a public static main method, and we just made another public static class here that we can do compare dogs from. So let's make sure this works, because again, this is an array list, so these things should have been added in order. It should have been Fido, Snoopy, Alfie, Cerberus, but I think what we're going to see is that this will be first, this will be second, third, and fourth if we did this correctly. Or it might be the other way around if I got these mixed up. So we're going to print out dogs, and because we have a toString on dogs, we should see the names here too. So let's go ahead and run this. Run as Java application. Right, so you can see we've got Alfie, Cerberus, Fido, Snoopy. So that looks pretty good. That looks like exactly what we wanted. And if we want to see this a little bit better, we can do for dog d in dogs, and just print them all out that way. Yeah, so it sorted them out in the correct order, and that is using a comparator class on a custom class that we implemented called dog. And all you do is just create a class. It's going to implement comparator interface. That's the comparator interface, and you're going to pass in dog in these angle brackets here, or whatever class you're trying to actually compare. And then you'll override this method here, and you'll be able to use it in collections.sort. All right, thanks for watching.